Psst. I see dead people.
Oh, come on, kid! Quit wasting my time!
Hey! You can't talk to my son that way! Who do you think you are?
I'm Plankton, you old hag, and your son smells like boogers!
Hey! You can't talk to my wife that way! What do you think this is?
I think it's time for you to lose some weight, fatty! That's what it is!
Hey! You can't talk to my grandson like that. Someone ought to put you in a mental hospital.
Someone should put you in a box floating down the river, Grandma!
Oh no, bro!
Restricted the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
Why hello, I'm Vanta the Storyteller, ready to continue showing you all the universe of the Spires. As I said in the last video, this time we'll be talking about the early history of Bonvunus, the first planet I created. For the world of Bonvunus, the only part of the previous video that is directly relevant to Bonvunus exclusively is the tail end when Aldous was introduced. However, if you would like a refresher on the last video,
Come on. Think.
In the beginning, the voice spoke out of Earth, the stars, planets, galaxies. Were the ones, as origins, or entities, planets of the universe, spires. Black towers of the universe on the sea. Aldous, Bonvunus, Aldous light. Terraform the land, make barrier around the planet. Make Aldous feel sick. Aldous hungry. Capture her, making her the core of the stock of his new land. Welcome to our first stop, Bonvunus.
now the history of Bonvunus is broken up into segments, known as eras. The planet is currently on its 5th era, but we will only be focusing on the first 3 for the purposes of the history. Eras are set times when the status quo of the majority of the planet is the same. Eras are only ended or changed when mass events happen that alter the world and her creatures. The 5 eras are Era 1, Dawn. Era 2, Havoc. Era 3, Order. Era 4, Soul. And Era 5, Salvation. The names of the eras are based off the events that started them. Each era will be discussed, but for right now, we need to focus on Era 1, Dawn. So without further delay, let us begin. The planet that Aldous now held dominion over was not uninhabited. There were a few types of creatures already calling this world home. There were the Ghastlians and the Decaforms. Chief among them were the Titans, powerful beings that can hold power on par with origins and entities. They were spawned from the planets when the universe was still new. The first Titans were beings made of different elements. Other creatures can and have since achieved the status of Titans. All that is required is that they hold power that rivals some origins and entities that is not directly derived from them. Aldous saw these creatures' existence as an obstacle, knowing that the Titans would not bend for anyone. So he needed allies. He went to where he sealed his sister Bonvunus and used a portion of her power to split his body apart, bringing those fragments to life. With this method, he created 1,000 beings that those of the planet of Bonvunus would know as the first gods. Aldous took inspiration from his siblings and what they represented, and gave his creations similar duties. These duties would come to be known as the 1,000 Acts of Man, each god representing a different concept, or emotion, or mindset. Among these gods was Tiruk, the god of chaos and change. Tiruk was bored, as he was first. He saw all his siblings' creation and heard how they were going to wage campaign against the Titans. Until Aldous grew complacent and said that they would simply avoid the Titans. This was an outrage to Tiruk. He didn't care for their safety or for their longevity. He felt robbed. Robbed of the change. Robbed of the chaos he could both witness and cause. In his rage, he confronted Aldous, begging for them to go to war. However, his pleas were set upon deaf ears. In this downtrodden state, he decided to take matters into his own hands. You see, Tiruk trades in lies and manipulation. Using these talents, he tricked his siblings into defecting from Aldous and joining him. Using his forces, they waged a civil war among these two factions, littering Bonvunus with divine bodies. At the war's zenith, Tiruk had an epiphany. He could cause much more chaos from the shadows than he ever could on the front lines. He asked his brother, Asmodeus, the god of deals, second to be created, to make a contract with him. He had Asmodeus meet with Aldous to betray Tiruk. Doing this, he would give Aldous the upper hand he needed in this conflict. And to cement this advantage, Aldous returned to the seal once more and used his sister's power to craft a weapon capable of not just killing Tiruk, but severing his divinity to have a return to Aldous. This weapon was known as the Mortality. Using the Mortality, he slew Tiruk, believing him to be vanquished for eternity. This action shattered the Mortality, causing shards to rain all throughout Bonvunus. In the aftermath of the war, only 12 gods survived, and from this, a distinction was made. Henceforth, the gods that sided with Aldous will be known as the Harmonic gods, and those that opposed would be known as Discordant gods. The leash of the Discordance gods was tight, so as to not have this happen again. And because of his actions in the war, Asmodeus was given the title of a Harmonic god. Aldous, seeing his first wave of allies decimated, needed more soldiers. So he used the remnants of the dead gods and a bit of Bonvunus' power to create Celestials. They were capable, but he wanted more, so he used Tiruk's remnants to create the Fae. And they were powerful, at times on par with gods, but their lack of loyalty left them undesirable and caused Aldous to lock them within Fairy. Next, he granted Asmodeus a chance to make soldiers, as per deal they made, and he created the devils. His devils were made in his image, meaning they care for rules and deals, and are incapable of lying. The gods mourned their siblings, trained their soldiers, and prepared for war. Huh. Gods, am I right? The gods of Bonvunus are some of the biggest players on the planet. Most acts of creation or war can be traced back to something they did at one point or another. Right now we only need to focus on the original Harmonic and Discordant gods. For over time, more gods have since joined the pantheon, but they're not the most relevant right now. Trust me, I plan on doing like an entire video just on the gods of Bonvunus. The Harmonic gods are as followed. Aldous, the Great Collector. Bonvunus, the Womb of Creation. Konvu, Goddess of the Hunt. Tinfor, the God of Knowledge. Solum, the God of Laughter. Solstice, the God of Dreams. And Asmodeus, the God of Deals. The discordant gods are Eternatus, the god of death, Mertha, the goddess of war, Tomultome, the goddess of torture, Osisa, the goddess of gold, Prast, the god of fools, Tiruk, the god of change, and Kaldrog, the broken. These are the survivors of the war, and these are the gods that will impact the war with the Titans, known as the Titans Curtain Call. Now I'm going to start doing a segment at the end of my videos that I will be calling the margin notes. Here I'll be picking one comment from the comment section below, and I'll be answering it in the video. I still like reading the comments, so I'll still be, answering questions down there. This will just be adding more context to a specific question that I really liked. Today's question comes from user Rory's522, who asked, do the ones also know who created the spires? And the answer is yes. They know it was the voice. That's all they really know though. No one knows who the voice really is. Not even the ones. I hope that sufficiently answered your question, and thank you for commenting. Now then, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the video. Please like the video, subscribe for more, and leave a comment to let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And hey, you may end up in next time's margin notes. And prepare as we get to the Titans curtain call. The harmonic gods. The harmonic gods. Harmonic. Harmonica. Harmonicana. Harmonica. Harmonica does sound cool. Or harmonic. I'm gonna write that down in my notes for later.